All right, beautiful. Welcome everyone to our final week of yoga together. I know that it's kind of sad to end something, but I also want to say I've had so much fun this past month meeting every week to do some beginners kids yoga together. And we've had a few different topics, right? Our first week we had spring yoga, and the second week we had, what did we even have the second? Oh, our trip to the ocean, of course. And then last week we had fairy tale yoga, and this week we are going to go on an African safari. And while we're on our African safari, we're going to review all the other things that we've done together in this series. And I did record these, right, and send them out so that you should have these as recordings on your computers to watch whenever you want to. You do need to download those sooner rather than later, because I'll only keep them on my computer until it gets full, and then I delete everything to make room for new recordings. So important to download that onto your own computer. And as always, my name is Kaylin McCarthy. I am a trained social therapist and yoga teacher. And so social therapy is really about looking at the totality of a human being when working with them. You know, when somebody is struggling with sleep, we don't just talk about sleep, we talk about nutrition and rhythms in the day. And also I use then the modalities of yoga as well by teaching yoga and mindfulness and meditation. And so I just have a super fun job where I get to hang out with people and go on an African safari. It's really the best. And this class will be like all of our other classes, where if you need to go to the bathroom or take a drink, you can always stop at any point. And if anything I'm doing doesn't feel right in your body, so really paying attention to listen to your inner voice today. So if anything doesn't feel right to you, then you can really do whatever you want to on the mat, because it's your yoga practice. And that's what's super cool about yoga, is that it's different for every single person. And that's what makes it so amazing. And of course, if there's anything I'm doing that also doesn't feel good in your body, like it doesn't feel right, then again, you can move any way you need or want to on the mat. There's no right or wrong. And then for the last 15 minutes of class, so I'm asking you to stay muted while we record, unless I ask a specific question for an answer, which I don't think I'm doing this time, but to stay muted during the class so that at the end of class, we can unmute and I can answer any questions, or you can tell me any comments you may have about the practice, maybe what your favorite part was. And I've already been asked to share, like, what are the other services I offer, how people can continue to take classes with me or work with me. So I will give a quick little breakdown of that at the end of our hour together. All right, well, first things first, friends, we need to shake out our sillies. So let's all come to standing. Oh, and begin to just shake it out, right? Oh, you can let your face go really soft and go, whoa, 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 and then shake your arms and shake your legs. Shake, 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 shake. There's all the things that happened today. Just shake them right off, right out. And when you feel sort of fresh and clean and not weighed down by all the life stuff, then you can take all of that energy, returning back to your seated position, sitting up nice and tall. And you could always come to sit against the wall like I demonstrated last week to help you come into that alignment where your head is over your heart and your heart is over your center, right? So a nice straight line here in the back. Oh, nice big deep breath. And then there's the three things we need for our practice and really for life. We want to get the most out of life. It's always helpful to have these three things. So the first one is your listening ears. And you can make sure those are turned on, your listening ears, by bringing your fingers to the top of your ears, sort of like where this little inner curve is at the tippy top, and bring one hand in front, or one finger in front and one finger behind, and just squeeze those ears all the way down to the tippy bottom by the earlobes, and then begin the journey back up to the top. And then once you do that one time, we're gonna do it a second time, just to make sure they're nice and turned on, so we can get the most out of our time together today. Beautiful. Second, we need our helpful hands. So Bring your hands in front of you, open up your palms nice and wide. And if you have difficulty opening your palms up nice and wide, sometimes some people's hands have a tendency to be more like this, you could ask someone to help spread those fingers open so you could still feel what that feels like in your hands. Or you could also watch somebody else do it in front of you. So any of these super cool things that we've practiced in yoga that you have difficulty doing yourself, even if you watch somebody else, say, come into a pose or sit up nice and straight in their own body, it can be helpful for you as well. So lots of options. If you want to, you can clap the hands together, really wake them up. Beautiful, check. I think we got that one all set. And third and final, we need an open heart. Our open heart is what enables us to listen and take in information from others and to love and give. So we want to make sure that's nice and turned on here. You can rub around the heart. You could pat on the heart or tap on the heart. Ooh, make a little noise while you do it. Oh, okay, my heart feels nice and turned on here. I hope yours does too. Beautiful. And then our theme for today is that we are going to go on an African safari. So now that we've got our 3 tools that we needed, we're ready to go on our safari. A lot less packing than a normal safari. And we're going to do this from like the lands of Africa, the savannah. And life can sometimes be like a safari, right? Like it's a big adventure and you don't really know what's going to happen. Right? Like you can think you're going to see animals on a safari, but you don't really know. And you don't really know what those animals are going to do, right? You have to go out and see what's waiting for you to explore. And life can be like that a lot sometimes. And so we have to practice being flexible and open to the ideas of suggestions of others because you never really know what's going to happen, right? Sometimes it might mean that you could get out of your car and meander around a safari. Sometimes it might mean a helicopter ride instead of a Jeep ride. So we have to just remain open to all of the beautiful things that there are available to us as long as we stay open to them, being nice and flexible. So I think everyone is going to be super ready to go on an African safari and practice that being flexible. And we're going to start that off by coming and sitting nice and tall and coming into our mudras here. So we have practiced 2 mudras over the past month. We had the same mudra where the thumb comes into the palm and the fingers hug it nice and tight. And you can hold those hands up or rest them on their thighs. Excuse me. Or we've had the quiet coyote mudra where you bring your palms in front of you once again, but this time bring your 2 middle fingers and your thumbs to touch, kind of like you're making a shadow puppet. And so those can stay up at your sides, or you can rest those hands on the thighs. So whichever mudra has been your favorite to practice over the past month, you can choose that mudra now. And then once you're all set up, you're sitting up nice and tall, you've chosen your mudra, and you're ready to begin the journey inward. Soften or close the eyes and take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the nose. And then you can continue with that mindful breathing, or we've practiced 3 other breaths. There's the buzz breath and the hum breath. And if you prefer those, you can choose one of those. But I wanted to feature that ujjayi breath again. And I know it's called an ocean sounding breath, but today let's pretend it's the water hole sounding breath. The splashes of animals jumping into the water, going to take a drink. So we do that by closing up the back of our throat a little bit, say like you're snoring with your mouth shut, or you're trying to see your breath on a really cold day. And it creates sort of a hissing sound, like the sound of splashing waves. Hopefully you can hear me doing it here. Awesome job, everybody. Allow those eyes to open back up, entering the space around us all together here. And then we're gonna, sorry, I had to let one more guest in. We're gonna soften those eyes once again from this super centered, calm place and imagine in your mind's eye that you are on the safari. There's tall grasses swaying in the wind, and there's a watering hole with zebras and hippos and alligators and water buffalo and lion and warthogs and any other animal you think that lives on a safari hanging out there. Come together. And you notice how peaceful and happy these animals are when they come together and gather around water. There's a natural order and balance to the natural kingdom. Continuing that deep breathing. There's the bush willow trees off in the distance. Maybe some giraffes nibbling on the tops. And even though you're not sure what is exactly going to happen on your safari adventure, we can be peaceful and flexible, trusting that whatever happens is exactly what is meant to happen on our journey today. Take 3 more of those deep, mindful breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the nose. One last time, biggest breath yet today. Wonderful job. Let's all open our eyes back up, gather into the space. Remember that we're asking everyone to stay muted right now while we are recording. Thank you. All right. And so now we're going to move to the yoga mat so that we can practice some of the poses that are going to come up in our story. And just like all the other times that we've practiced poses and done the story afterwards, you don't have to do that pose that way. We just want to make sure that you have an option so that when that word comes up in the practice, you are prepared and ready, my friends. So moving on over to the mat here. Oh, and we're going to start standing. So first pose we're going to practice today is helicopter pose. And we do that by standing with our feet nice and tall on the earth. Really feeling your whole foot present and pressing into the earth and then lifting up nice and tall through the crown of the head. And then let your arms be loosey-goosey here, like wet noodles. And gently begin to twist side to side. And this is like those helicopter propeller, right? They spin around side to side. So you're just like that helicopter right now. And you can go fast or slow here. If you want to, you can even bend the knees and let those arms come up and over the shoulders. Oh, and if you wanted to, you could even make a helicopter noise like I think I need to practice my helicopter noise more. All right, let's slow down the helicopter. Awesome. And I'm pretty sure on the African savanna, there's mountains off in the distance because there's some real big mountains in Africa. So we're going to once again press the feet into the earth, nice and solid, sturdy, steady. And inhale to lift and lengthen, extending up through the top of the head here. And then roll your shoulders back and down, open up the palms here, side to side, strong and tall in mountain pose. Imagining that you are a big, majestic mountain off in the distance. And this could be done from a seated position in a chair as well. It's really about opening up that heart space and bringing the arms out side to side and connecting through the feet. And then I know for sure that there's savanna grasses. So let's inhale, feet Stay where they are. Lift the arms up and overhead, and then start to sway side to side like some savanna grasses in the wind here. Beautiful. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see some elephants on the savanna today. So still nice and tall, arms up over the head. And then exhale, fold and now over the legs, bringing the hands down towards the earth. And what we're going to do this time is we're going to interlace the fingers like you're holding someone else's hand. And you're going to let those arms hang in front of you. And this is going to be our elephant trunk. And you're going to swing side to side here, like you're a big herd of elephants. And if you can make an elephant noise, oh, now's the time to do it, my friend. There's not many occasions in life that call for a proper elephant noise. Oh, lovely. And then, oh, inhale to lift up. I think once we get off the helicopter, we'll probably need to take a ride in a Jeep, a big like SUV type car. So for that, let's bring ourselves all the way down to the earth. Okay. And then you can keep your feet here on the earth. Or if you're like a seasoned practiced yogi, right? You've done this lots of times before, you can even lift those feet up off the earth as long as you're maintaining a nice flat back. And then I want you to grab your steering wheel and start driving around the washed out roads of the savannah. You might need to swerve around trees or be aware of animals. Okay, so stay nice and present here. Beautiful. And then let's roll, like cross the ankles here and roll forward onto hands and knees. And we're going to be a cheetah chasing a zebra. So we're going to inhale, drop the belly button down towards the earth, and then look up towards the sky. And again, this could be done in a chair with hands on knees. And this is our cheetah. Wow. I don't know, that's a great cheetah sound either. Maybe I'll leave the noise making to you all. And then exhale, we're gonna round the spine. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. This is our zebra. Just kidding. So munch, munch, munch on some hay. Striped and hanging out, hay. And then exhale, round the spine. This is our cheetah. Apologies, my friends. So inhale, open up into zebra. Exhale, it's running away from a cheetah. And if zebras aren't your favorite, like this could also be a wildebeest, any sort of like hoofed creature. Ooh, a giraffe. Exhale to round. But regardless, this is our cheetah. Oh, all right. And then coming back to center, we're going to inhale, lift one arm straight ahead, and then exhale, lift the opposite leg back and behind you. So this is a tricky one here, okay? It may be that you just want the arm or the leg. So try it out. Make sure you have your balance. And then if you feel nice and sturdy, you can add either that leg or arm. And this is like our lioness hunting on the savannah. Exhale, let's bring it down and then come to the other side of choosing an arm or a leg to start, and then adding the other one if you feel sturdy and strong. And this could be our, like the male tiger of the pride, the Lion King, if you will, on the other side. And exhale to float it down. And then, oh, let's melt down into hippo pose, right? Nice and under the water, melting the forehead towards the earth, knees together, feet together, and pausing for 4 deep breaths here. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. All right, inhale to lift up, rising up. And let's get ready for our African safari adventure. All right. Beautiful. Great. Got everybody in now. So let's start with our helicopter ride, because I don't know about you, but I'm not anywhere near an African savanna right now. So I got to take the helicopter to get to the savanna. So coming and standing nice and tall and begin to twist side to side. So if you were in a chair, you could do the same thing you could have the hands to the heart or bring the hands to the side to hold the chair and go from side to side. Or if we're able to stand all the way up, then we can try this one. But whether you're sitting or standing, you can always make a helicopter sound. Oh, flying over the ocean towards the savanna. And start to slow it down as we begin to land. And we see off in the distance the mountains. Taking nice, big, deep breaths here. I've read the stories about people being on the savannah and seeing Mount Kilimanjaro, which is one of the biggest mountains in the world. So maybe we can pretend that we are the biggest mountains in the world, nice and strong and solid and not going anywhere, right? Nice and strong. And then we turn around from the mountains and we inhale, lift the arms up to see the grasses in the savannah. Oh, look at them sway so beautifully side to side, like they're dancing in the wind. Beautiful. Oh, and you know what I forgot to practice, but is also in the savannah, was those trees, those acai and those bush willows we were talking about. So let's come into a tree pose, any kind of tree pose you want, anything that looks like a tree to you. Nice and big. Beautiful. Trees are spotted all along. There's not a whole lot, right? It's not like a forest. It's a wide open area with all those grasses. So let's come back to those grasses, because between one tree to the next, there's so many grasses. And then coming to tree on the other side, making yourself nice and balanced. And you can always hold onto the wall or a chair to keep you nice and sturdy. And then exhale to come all the way down. And you know what I think I saw in that last tree? I think I saw some giraffes munching on it. So let's all inhale, be whatever kind of giraffe you're going to be. I'm going to come up onto my tippy toes and be as tall as I can here. And let's see, if your giraffe pose, can you lean a little forward, like you're trying to eat some of those branches, all those leaves? Inhale to come back up and come all the way down. And we realize, you know what? There's a lot of animals out here. Maybe we should get into our Jeep, our off-road vehicle, to make sure that we are staying safe out in our savannah adventures. So let's all come down to the earth and choose what kind of car you're going to drive, right? So it could be a car with the toes on the ground, driving side to side, or if you want to build a little bit more strength in the belly, which can also help with balance and helping with like walking for longer periods of time, then you can try lifting up the toes a little bit to start, maybe all the way till they're parallel with the earth. So driving, open it to bumpy road, driving, and we see off in the distance. Let's sit up. Can you find some binoculars here? Off in the distance, what do you see? It's a cheetah chasing a zebra. You know, I really like how the British say it, a zebra. So let's come onto hands and knees, or whatever your zebra and cheetah look like. Let's inhale, drop the belly, open the heart, coming into zebra. Exhale, round that belly, round the spine, tuck the chin into the chest. This is just a nice little flow here. So hopefully, however you're taking this posture, you're finding this flow to it. Let's do one more breath cycle here, in through the nose. and out through the nose. And then all of a sudden, we've been so distracted by watching this beautiful, elegant, like dance and chase between the zebra and the cheetah. But oh my goodness, there's a herd of elephants coming towards us. So let's quick hop to our feet, bring those palms together and start to sway side to side. And if you want, you can even move around. You're on the chase here. Oh, add an elephant noise or two. And meanwhile, while those elephants are doing that, we are all the way down in our car, frankly, a little bit nervous, right? Who would have known that this would have been such an adventure? But we are flexible and ready and open. Practice that all together here in this space. Oh, finally, bum, 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 bum. We made it away from the elephants. Phew. And now we're just driving and we're enjoying the beautiful scenery. Excuse me. When all of a sudden, off in the distance, we see a pride of lions. So crisscross those feet and roll forward if you're able to. Come onto hands and knees again. And first we see all the lionesses lounging around. So you can extend one leg straight behind, and then if you want, add on that arm. And they're licking their babies and taking like a little afternoon break here. They've been hunting and eating, and now they're resting. What a beautiful image. Exhale to bring it down. And inhale, let's come to the other side. And what do we see? But we see the male lions with their big manes. And they're sitting up, making sure that everyone is safe and cared for. Take one more big deep breath here and exhale to come back. And let's sit back on the heels for a moment because we're going to go visit the watering hole. That's our last stop on our trip before we leave. So sitting up nice and tall in that mindful body for a moment. Taking 3 breaths and trying out that ujjayi breath. If you can make yourself hear your breath of the waves of the watering hole of the animals splashing around here. Maybe the baby elephants are playing. They seem to have stampeded their way to the watering hole. The zebras and the cheetah that we saw before. Taking some nice breaths here. You can close the eyes if you want to. One more breath here. And all of a sudden we notice some little nostrils sticking up over the water. And you know what it is. It's a hippopotamus. So we're going to melt all the way down and take a little rest here for 4 breaths. Pretending that we are hippopotamuses hiding under the water, staying nice and cool. Inhale to lift up. My holy cannoli, what an exciting adventure this has been out on the savannah. We finally decide to turn our car around, sitting up nice and tall, nice to like a straight line, even if you're leaning back a little bit. Oh, we drive all the way back. And on our way, we say goodbye to, let's stand up, the trees. And come to the other side. Say goodbye to all the trees first. And the grasses blowing in the wind. And the mountains, solid and strong. When we get back in our helicopter to return all the way back home, Arms side to side, the propeller is bringing you back home, safe and sound. Everything turned out just as it should. Oh, beautiful. Let's take a big deep breath in through the nose and exhale, soften yourself down to a seated position. And we're going to read our book, I Am Yoga. So the earlier part of our practice, it's with the story, it's much more kind of like do it however you want to. But with this one, we ask you to at least try the pose of the way it is, and you can always modify or adapt it to be a little bit different to fit your body. Okay, so I Am Yoga by Susan Verde, art by Peter H. Reynolds. When I feel small in a world so big, I tell my wiggling body, be still. I tell my thinking mind to be quiet. I tell my racing breath, be slow. Ooh, and before we read another one, I'm going to point out that all of these different poses have mantras that go with them. That's the I am statements. And I want you to pay special attention this week and pick your favorite one to be your mantra after this, so you can say it to yourself whenever you need or want to. I close my eyes and make room in my mind, in my heart, to create and imagine. I am yoga. Oh, so that looks similar to that mountain pose, right? Except her feet are together. So you can try it a little different and see what feels better. I am yoga. Big deep breath into that. I am yoga. I can touch the sky. I am so tall. There's that tree pose again, right? I am so tall. I'm going to try to do it just like she is. Arms up and overhead. I am so tall. Coming to the other side, we'll say it again. I am so tall. I soar among the clouds. I am so free. So can you soar among the clouds? So you can start this by bringing one foot back and behind you a little bit and raising the arms up overhead and then starting to tilt forward. I am so free. And inhaling up, come to the other side. I am so free. I can sparkle with the stars. I shimmer and shine. So you shimmer and shine. Here we go, ready? I shimmer and shine. Say it one more time for good measure. I shimmer and shine. I can dance with the moon. I light up the night. That one. That one's a tricky balance one. It'd be really nice to have a chair to hold on to or something in front of you. You lift one leg up and then open up the other one towards the sky. All the way. Yeah. Inhale, I light up the night, and then coming to the other side. I light up the night. I can sail with the sea. I go with the flow. So that mantra, ready? Coming like you're a boat. I go with the flow. One more time. I go with the flow. I can open my heart. I feel love. For that, when you're up on the knees, and you can bring either the hands to the bottom of the back to open the heart, or you can come all the way down to the backs of the feet on an exhale. I feel love. I feel love. I can see far and wide. I am focused. So focused there. So that's like an eagle variation where you got one leg lifted and the palms pressed together in front of you. I am focused. Coming to the other side. I am focused. I can turn things upside down. I am playful. Look at that. All right, let's do it. Let's turn the whole world upside down and be playful. Oh, looking back and behind. I am playful. I am playful. I can stand up for me. I can stand up for others. I can stand up for peace. So we'll do that as a little flow on each side. So for the first one, the arms are straight up. I can stand up for me. I can stand up for others, and then lift that front hand to the sky. I can stand up for peace. Same thing, other side. So now face the other end of the mat, or just switch feet. I have to turn the other way, otherwise you won't be able to see my face. Okay, inhale. I can stand up for me. I can stand up for others. I can stand up for peace. Beautiful. I can open like a flower. I am beautiful. Look at that beautiful bright flower. Okay, so bring, she's in one of these here, so that's quite tricky, but you could always just bring the soles of the feet together and the legs out side to side. Say, I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I can carry beauty with me. I am full. So coming to lie down on the stomach. Bending at the knees to kick up the feet, and then reaching back and behind to grab those feet, and then kicking the feet into the hands. I am full. I am full. Inhaling in. I can say I've had enough for today. I relax. That's such an important thing to learn, is when you've had enough. Oh, so melting down. I can relax. I can relax. Inhale to lift up. I can rest. I am calm. It's coming to lay out in that resting pose, the final resting pose. I am calm. I am calm. Now the world is just the right speed. Now my world is just the right size. Now I see I fit in just fine. I am yoga. I can be anything. Beautiful. I hope you found your favorite saying that we said over like the 2 times, and those are the mantras. Love to hear at the end if anybody had a favorite. Oh, and then we're going to come and lay down on the mat here. And come all the way down to the back if you're able to, if you're not doing this practice from a seat. And then whether you're on a seat or on the floor, you can hug those knees in towards the chest. And if you're on your back, you can gently rock side to side. Take a little massage for your back, nice and quiet and calm. And then you can let go of those knees and you can let them fall all the way down to one side. Open up the arms side to side in a big Texas T, or if you're running out of room like I am here with this wall, you can bend at the elbows like a big goalpost or cactus arms. And then lastly, turn your head to look in the opposite direction of the knees. Pause here for a few big, deep, 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 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Inhale to bring the gaze or the face back to center in the knees. And then exhale to go to the other side. So now my knees are going the opposite direction and I've turned my head to look in the opposite direction, but the arms can stay just where they are. Pausing for a few more breaths here. Inhale to bring those knees back to center, the gaze back to center. And this time, kick your feet up towards the ceiling. Hi-oh. And then you can grab either the outer edges of the shin, the outer edges. You can either grab the shin, grab the outer edges of the feet, and then gently rock side to side, or you can kick those legs out. This is called happy baby. So you can sort of like goo goo gaga, do whatever feels fun or good to you right now. Oh. And then you can start to soften everything down towards the earth, coming into our final resting pose for our class, our safari African adventure. Taking 3 deep mindful breaths here, because you can even take mindful breaths when you're on the earth, and you can pay attention to how your lungs feel in your back. It's a new and different way to feel that breath in the body, is to try it laying down. And you can one more time return to that African safari in your mind. Taking one last look at all the beautiful, beautiful things there are here. This world is such an amazing and interesting place. We're so lucky to be here. Taking a few more deep breaths and then softening the whole body into the earth beneath you for your Shavasana, your final resting pose. Then you can begin to wiggle your fingers and toes now. Start to wake the body back up. You can take any final big stretches that feel ooey gooey good to you. Oh, and then roll onto one side of the body, or you can stay here in Shavasana if you want. There's no rush. You can take your time, friends. And if you're on your side, to pause here for a breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And then gently make your way back up to a comfortable seated position. And we're going to close our practice with 3 ohms. And so an Om is when you take a big deep breath in through the nose and out through your mouth, and you make a sound that sounds like Om, but you can do it really slow, like you're trying to stretch it way out. So you can listen or you can try it out. It's totally up to you. Sitting up nice and tall, take a big deep breath in through the nose. Use a big deep breath in through the nose to bring the hands to heart center here. And my wish for you on this day and every single day that follows is peace of body, peace of heart, and peace of mind. Namaste, my friends. Oh, I hope you enjoyed our safari practice. And I added the Om. I don't know if we actually did Oms in the other weeks, but I wanted to make sure I shared it because like when my middle child, my daughter was a baby and she would be upset, I would Om and it would help her calm down. And all of my children now Om when they're sort of like upset and the world feels like too much and it's kind of like you want to close the rest of the world out. You can use that Om. It's a really awesome tool. So I wanted to make sure that you got to practice that at least once in this space. I'm gonna real quick just share about how people can continue services with me if they'd like to. Of course, I would love to do another series for Strong, and I'm sure that will happen again in the future. But if you wanted to work with me in between them, because that's usually just about once a year I do that. My business is called Mindful Tradition, and you can contact me at www.mindfultradition.com. There's like a contact me section, or you could just directly email me at mindfultradition@gmail.com, all one word, all lowercase. And so I do offer private classes, and those can be covered through self-directive services. So through the Office of OPWDD. So you can use Medicaid funding through self-directive services to actually pay for me on an hourly rate. So it's no cost to you. So that's something I worked really, really hard on to make sure that everybody had this available to them. I think everybody needs the tools of mindfulness and yoga. So that's one way you can work with me. If you don't have self-directive services, I do have a sliding scale for people that are privately paying. And beyond that, I do also have a Ko-fi subscription service. So that's for people that want to do yoga with me regularly. And there's different tiers to that. And that you can check out at Ko-fi. I think it's like ko-fi.com/mindful tradition. And if you just reach out to me on my website, I can send you a link directly about any of that. And I also offer free connection calls. So if you just want to call and talk and figure out how we could work together to best support individuals in your life or yourself, then we can do that. And it's just talking and hanging out, and that's totally free. So again, you would schedule that by contacting me on my website, www.mindfultradition.com. And then I am gonna allow people to unmute themselves now. So if there's anything that you want to share about this practice, maybe if you want to share what animals you saw on your African safari, or you want to share what your favorite mantra was from the I Am Yoga, which we've read every week for the past 4 weeks, or if there's just anything else you want to say before we end our practices together, because unfortunately this is our last class for this series. Did you want to share something, Alex?
Yeah, the bad stuff was easy on my whole body, but
Yeah.
I didn't like do standing up anything.
I'm really glad to hear that you listen to your body here. I'll turn this down so you can see me a little bit better. But I'm really, really glad to hear that you listened to your body and only did as much as felt comfortable for you today. Because I know you're a pretty seasoned yogi. And so I love to hear that you're taking the time to listening to your body. Awesome job, Alex.
Thanks.
It was like it was like oh okay. So like it was calming for me, and also like when we like someone we like
Is it stuck and just not coming quite out the way you're wanting it to? You know what I hear is that you really enjoyed this series and that you've had fun with it. Is that true? I want to
I'm also going to a carnival today.
Amazing. Best day ever. You get yoga and the carnival. That sounds like my ideal day, personally.
Yes, every year I get a carnival here, and every year I get to do yoga. So extra fun.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for showing up every week. It's been really, really lovely seeing and getting to know you better, because I believe you were also in my mindfulness course last year.
You remember?
Huh?
You were in a mindfulness course.
Wait, I was?
Yes.
Oh, I remember that. That was 2 years ago.
It was so long ago.
Yeah.
So long. I know.
Oh yeah, that was 1 year ago.
Yeah.
I have no idea what when that since that I haven't even remembered.
All right, let's see if anybody else has anything they'd like to share. Oh, Tanner just shared that that he likes yoga after school. That's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. Well, hopefully now that these are recorded and they were sent to your parent or guardian, then you can do yoga after school. Like, you can watch these videos whenever you want, because I've had a super fun time, and I'm glad that you enjoyed yourself, Tanner. Thank you so much for sharing. Well, it seems like that might be everybody's thought for this series, and I've really, really enjoyed hearing from everybody. And I'm also the U of R for like putting on these free offerings. They take a survey at the end, so I will attach that survey in the email I send out that has the last class link in it. So we'd love to hear your feedback, because it does help us. It does help U of R determine like their future programming. So if you like enjoyed this class, then potentially we could have more in the future, which I'm always down for. I'm always excited to do yoga with people, right? It's the best. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I feel like this has been a great success, and hopefully I get to see you all again soon. And like I said, please reach out with any questions, comments, or concerns moving forward. I love getting to work with people one-on-one. That's actually my absolute favorite. I feel like that's when you get the most life-changing experience. It's really, really beautiful process and journey. And I feel very, very humbled and honored that I get to offer that to people. So I hope you all are well. Enjoy this season and take care. Bye.
Bye, Kaylin.
Bye. Thank you.
Wait, okay. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Yes.